Hey man, we back with another one, man. Today's video, as you know, is gonna be a follow-up to one I dropped last night entitled The Passport Bros. Black women getting their passports also. Now, let's get into it, man. We got a lot to discuss, bro. In the video I dropped last night, we basically talked about how the women are joining the movement, fellas. The women are joining the movement, right? I remember, listen, I crack my jokes on y'all, but y'all brothers know it's nothing personal, man. I don't got a dog in a fight. Man. I'm just very entertained by the debate and the discussion. But I remember just a couple weeks ago, the women brought out the fire and the pitchforks to the Passport Bros, man. Saying the Passport Bros was going around terrorizing communities, man. They were, what? Man, they were putting all types of accusations and allegations on the Passport Bros. Now, in less than a month later, now we got all type of content popping out of women talking about they grabbing their passports also. And where are they going? You see, they taking it a step further. You see, the Passport Bros, they gonna go down to the islands, go down to South America, Central America, Latin America, right? They gonna chase after the mixed race women over there. You know how they do, man. You know how the Passport Bros do it, right? The women called them colorists. The women said the Passport Bros were self-haters because they weren't going to the black countries. And in fact, that's a criticism that I also launched at the Passport Bros. But see, the women, they took it a step further, right? They took it a step further. They went straight to the home court. They went straight to the stronghold of the Europeans. They going straight to Europe. The women got their own little movement bubbling, and they going straight to the Greeks and the Romans. Anyways, man, listen, I'm gonna play some footage. And as you know, I'm coming back with my commentary. Let's go.
It was like at that level of peace and acceptance that like this happily ever after isn't for everyone.
A lot of black women say that they get much more love and appreciation from non-American men. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I think black women do get taken for granted in the US. And there is an appreciation and an adoration and an admiration that international men do have for black women. And this is fetish aside, hypersexualization aside. There is this like, oh my goodness, you're a goddess. And what have I done to be so lucky to be in your presence? And that can be overwhelming because you might not be used to that.
At whatever point, I guess when you had that conversation with God, you said, I want my next greatest adventure to be love.
There's this thing called a Eurail pass. And you basically can take a first-class train to 33 countries. I think at any given moment, I was probably chatting with 12 like quality men. And I took away preferences. Like after I realized
at any given moment, I was talking to 12 quality men.
Black women, please go to Europe.
We're not going to pretend that this is not a bar.
Black women, please go to Europe. Black women, please go to Europe. Black women, please go to Europe.
All right, we back. Let's get into it, man. Where do we begin, man? We got so much to unpack. You know what I cannot stand that I run into so much out in these streets, man? Take a look up on the screen, right? You see this young lady, you see this young woman. I don't know her age, but you see this woman on the screen, right? Check her out. She got the natural hair, she got the locks, right? She got the Africa earrings, the Africa continent earrings. If you ran into this chick at the grocery store, or you ran into her at the bank, or walking down the street, you would think, oh man, she's definitely at a high level of consciousness. She's definitely an intelligent black woman. Oh man, she know what's up. She probably got, a whole bookcase of Dr. Amos Wilson, John Henrik Clark. Oh man, I could have a conversation with her. We could talk all night. From first glance, you would think you found a gem. You would think you found a diamond. You would think you found, something very rare. You're like, oh man, I gotta see what's up. I gotta holla at. I gotta see what's up, man. And then she opens her mouth. And she's talking about going to Europe to link up with the white boys, and the white boys worship her and think she's a goddess. And you realize that, oh no, she's not intelligent. She's not conscious. She's no different than the chick listening to Megan Thee Stallion twerking on the hood of a car. They're at the same level of intelligence, the same level of consciousness, the same level of self-awareness. But for some reason, we have so many women that love to wear the uniform of the intelligent black woman. They love to wear the uniform of the 5-star black woman, right? But when you crack back the shell and you break down the packaging, you realize, man, you a fraud. You a fraud. Take that uniform off. You a fraud. You a fraud. Why you wearing the uniform of the intelligent black woman, the conscious black woman, the enlightened black woman, and you singing the praises of European men? Where's the connection? Where's the correlation? And I run into that so much out in these streets, bro. I run into that type of woman, that type of black woman, way more than anything else. Way more than the ratchet, way more than anything else. I guarantee if you go to her social media, she's gonna have a whole bunch of Black Lives Matter, black fists up in the air. Oh, Tyree Nichols, pray. Oh, justice for Tyree Nichols, justice for the black people in America. I'm telling you, bro, I run into this so much. They wear the uniform. They talk a good game. They talk the lingo. They speak the slang. But at the end of the day, the actions do not match the words and do not match the packaging. So that's why you cannot judge a book by its cover, man. That's why when I see a woman with all that, Africa medallions, Africa jewelry, natural hair locks, man, that does nothing for me no more. In fact, I automatically assume they're a fraud, right? I stay away from the chicks with the super Afrocentric, natural hair, Afro locks with the African jewelry, because I realize a lot of the times they're fraudulent, right? They fraudulent. They're running after white boys. They got like 1,000 white ex-boyfriends. Like, what the hell? Please, ladies, take the uniform off. Take the uniform off. Stop perpetuating a lie. That's not you. You know that's not you. But why do you want to? I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, where's the self-awareness? You're going to tell black women, go to Europe. The Europeans think we're goddesses and queens and angels, but you walking around acting like you Queen of Monarinus at an ancient Kemet. Like, please stop. Please stop. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I run into this so much, bro. I run into it so much. I had to say that before anything. Now, let's jump into the commentary on the video. The host starts out in the video asking the guests, it seems that non-American men, they got more love and admiration or appreciation for black women. I'm assuming black women from the United States. I'm assuming that's the context of the conversation. And as you listen on in the interview, you didn't really hear anything in terms of, marriage and starting a family and legacy and things like that. You pretty much heard the standard nonsense that you hear in the United States, right? If you wanted to hear, white boys whisper sweet nothings into your ear and break your back out and then, delete your number after a couple months, you could have done that right here in the United States on Tinder or Hinge or Bumble or anywhere else on any social media platform. If a black woman gotta hop on a plane and go straight to the stronghold of the Europeans to get worship with attention and showered with attention and get smashed on a late night, listen, you bugging out. You bugging out, man. Them white boys right down here in the United States will smash you on a late night all you like. Trust me, you ain't have to go all the way to Europe. You ain't have to go to the ancestral homeland to get your back blown out, baby girl. You ain't have to do that, man. You ain't have to do that. You could have done that right here in the tri-state area. And truth be told, man, I think it's more about the culture that she identifies with, right? Like I said, man, the women in the United States, they're products of the West. They're products of Western civilization, right? They're more closer to Western customs and values and ideals. So going to Europe is not that much of a stretch. The reason a black woman like the one on the screen wouldn't want to go to somewhere in Southern Africa, Eastern Africa, or Western Africa is because, number one, the customs and the cultures and the values would not be aligned to who she is, right? As someone who was born and bred in Western civilization, right? It's much easier for them to blend into Europe because the Europeans share a lot of the customs and values of the Americans because the Americans are their descendants. So she can still be that independent woman doing her own thing, getting smashed off the date naps, not answering to no man out in Europe, right? She can still enjoy that same luxury out in Europe. She might not be able to do the same thing out in the continent, right? See, the women who go to the continent, it's a different thing. The black women who go to the continent, you see they go for like ancestral reasons, cultural reasons. They want to get back to their roots. They want to get back to their basics. They want to go to a nice tropical climate. They want to be up under the sun. They want to go to the African beaches. They want to have a good time. They want to, eat natural foods. They tired of the processed foods. The black women who travel to Africa, they are more enlightened, in my opinion, right? They're operating at a higher level of consciousness, right? When you see the women talking about they want to go to Europe, they ain't talking about none of that. They ain't talking about no going to the nice climate, trying to eat the natural food, to live longer, be healthy, be around your people, feel good. Nah, they talking about the white boys saying they love us and the white boys smashing us. Everything she said was low vibrational. The Europeans think I'm a goddess. The Europeans think I'm a goddess. The Europeans, they love to be in my presence. The Europeans love to be in your presence. But 100 years ago, they were putting bayonets to your grandmother's chest. But now they love to be in your presence. They built their wealth and power at your destruction, but they love your presence and they think you a goddess. Man, listen, if I told you what they really think about you, listen, as someone who read 19th century and 20th century literature, listen, if I said what they really thought about you, my whole channel would get demonetized and my whole channel get deleted. If I told you what the Europeans really thought about you for real. And when all that literature was being written, they were still having intimate relations with black women during that time, right? The Europeans will hop right out of bed with a black woman and go write a book about how Europeans are superior to the black race. He'll hop right out of bed with a black woman and go write a whole book destroying the image of her people. So at the end of the day, like I said, man, like I said before in previous videos, brothers, we do not mess with black women who chase after white boys. Because like I said, the intelligence level just don't be all the way there. It just don't be all the way there. Like, honestly, any black person walking around thinking a European thinks you're some type of god or goddess, something is not right upstairs, bro. Like, something is not right upstairs. You clearly have no self-awareness of where you are or where you have been or where you're supposed to go if you think the adversary thinks that you're a godlike figure on earth. Yo, man, listen, the mental illness is real. But like I said, man, the reason you see this growing trend of women going to the European continent is because those women aren't really black women. They're Western women. They're women of the West. They're women who are born and bred in European culture and civilization. That's where they feel most comfortable. Because when you hear them talk, You never hear them talk about linking up with the black brothers out in the European continent. They don't be talking about they meeting the black men out in Europe, out in France, out in Italy. No, they meeting the white boys. They meeting the descendants of Christopher Columbus, Napoleon Bonaparte, Winston Churchill, all them boys, man. All them boys. They meeting the grandkids of Charles de Gaulle and all that. That's who they running around with. They ain't running around with Mbappe. You know what I mean? They ain't running around with Mbappe. They're not running around with what's his name, Raheem Sterling. They ain't running around with my brothers out in Europe. They're not running around with y'all. They talking about they trying to meet Wayne Rooney. They talking about they out in Europe with Wayne Rooney and things like that. They out in Europe with Frank Lampard. They ain't messing with the brothers out in, they ain't messing with the brothers out in Europe. So listen, we gotta stay away from the chicks chasing after the white boys, especially the ones that wear the uniform of the intelligent and enlightened black woman, right? Me personally, once I see a woman step in the door with all them Hotep clothes on, listen, I already know she's chasing after white boys. It never fails me. It never fails me. I've seen it so much that I associate it with that, bro. Like, as soon as I see, the big onk medallions and the Africa jewelry and the natural locks and all that, I automatically assume that her last 15 ex-boyfriends were white. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Y'all gotta start checking each other. When you see a woman wearing your uniform and you know she a fraud, you gotta check them. Because the fellas, we gonna check them, right? If a black man is out here talking big pro-black rhetoric, right? But then you see him talking about, oh man, we gotta chase after the white girls out in France and Paris, out in London. We gotta go chase after the white girls out in Europe. Everybody's gonna laugh at that man, bro. Everybody's gonna laugh at him. Everybody's gonna roast him. Everybody's gonna clown him. But for some reason, among the women, we have this culture of the pro-black swirler, the pro-black divester. Everything is pro-black except the man. Everything is black except the man. Everything is black except the man and the kids. You know what I'm saying? So listen, I don't understand it. But like I said, I stay away from y'all. Like I said, I only deal with black women who only deal with black men. Those are the highest quality women. Those are the highest quality women with the highest quality conversation, with the highest quality intelligence. And they're going to give you the highest quality children. Because like I said in my last video, imagine you have a daughter with one of these chicks, right? With one of these chicks talking about, oh, go to Europe. The Europeans love us. The European men, they love us. Imagine you have a daughter with one of these women, right? And your daughter gets to dating age, 18, 19, 20, 21. And your wife is telling your daughter, oh man, you got to get with the Europeans. You got to get with the Italians and the French and the Belgians. You got to get with the what? Bro, that's why we don't deal with them women that be running around with them white boys, because they're going to destroy our legacy, bro. God forbid, right? God forbid you get married and you have a child with one of these swirlers, right? With one of these fake pro-black swirlers. And as we know, tragedy happens. You might get a heart attack. You might get into a car accident. And now she's left to raise your children alone because you're no longer here. That is why it's very imperative for brothers to make sure that the mindset of the woman that you start a family with is on point with you, is on the same level as you. Because if you guys do not have the same mindset, she is going to put so much nonsense in the minds of your children. And in summary, listen, brothers, if the ladies call you colorists, if the ladies call you, they call you self-haters because you run around with the mulattoes down in Brazil, at the end of the day, they got nothing to say because they're running around with the Europeans, man. They run around with the descendants of the colonists and the human traffickers and the slave traders and the invaders and the plunderers and the pillagers and the robbers and the thieves, man. So at the end of the day, listen, brothers, listen, they took it a step further. Y'all went to Latin America. They went straight to the stronghold of the colonial empires, man. Listen. And she got the nerve to be walking around with big locks in her hair with the Africa earrings on. And man, listen, that is so insulting. I get so insulted when I run into chicks like these, man. Like, why you gonna wear that uniform and you're not even honoring it or living up to the standard? Like, how you run around with how you walk around dressed like the queen of consciousness and you singing the praises of Europeans, man. And the funniest thing about black women hopping on a plane to go straight to the Europeans, man, you gotta understand, bro. During the colonial period, for a European to get with a black woman, man, he had to hop on a boat. Probably got sick on the boat. Probably caught a fever on the boat. He had to go down, get a job in one of the colonies, right? He had to work his way up the ranks, because you can't just come down to the colony and, just become a big boss, big planter off the rip. No, you gotta work your way up the ranks. The white boys back in the day, they had to put in a lot of work to get to the black women, man. And on top of that, black men was constantly rebelling. So, they had to fight off the black man. They had to fight off the aggression of the black man. And now the descendants of these overseers and these slave owners, now the women come directly to them on a plane delivered like FedEx. Man, listen, man. And she got the nerve, bro. I'm so annoyed that she walking around with these Africa earrings on, bro. Like, bro, I don't understand the fraudulence that is going on in the streets right now, bro. We have to address this one day. Think about it. Imagine there was like 500,000 black men in America that walked around dressing like Umar Johnson, but they were talking about chasing after white women. I'm telling you, man, this whole passport bros discussion is highly entertaining and highly hilarious. But at the end of the day, ladies, don't come into my comment section talking about, oh, but black men date white women. Listen, it's not the channel for that. I don't date anything but a black woman that only dates black men. All right, y'all chicks that be running around with the white boys, I don't got nothing to say to you. Not interested. I'm cool. But I only deal with black women. So do not come in my comment section talking about, oh, but black men do this, black men do that. Wrong channel. I don't do none of that. But anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari Desaline back in the building. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Get for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage. I got business, this shit is an art, and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you in court. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands, cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.